The MBA in IT Management at Western Governors University consists of 11 classes or courses. And so what I'm going to do in this video is we'll break down each one of them, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts, tell you whether I think it's going to be an easy class or a hard class. I will tell you whether it's an OA or a PA. And if it is a PA, I'll tell you how many tasks are required in order to pass the class. The reason why I say I will tell you whether I think it's going to be easy or hard is because I haven't actually taken these yet. I'm actually starting in just a couple of days. I do have my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and information assurance, so I understand kind of how the structure is and how it works, but mainly the information that I'm going to give you is either based off of information that I found that has been confirmed, or we'll look at the program guide as well, and we can go through some of those classes there. Also, for any of you that might be new, I will, as I finish the classes at WGU, I will make kind of like a dedicated video for all of them. It's what I did with my bachelor's too. Out of the 11 classes, there are 4 that are OAs, 6 that are PAs, and 1 that requires both an OA and a PA in order to pass. So I think before we actually get into the classes themselves, let me just tell you the difference between an OA and a PA, because this is a question that I get asked all the time. OAs, or objective assessments, I think is what that is. They basically are your kind of traditional final exams, or the type of exams that you would take at testing centers. So what's going to happen is I will be recorded the whole time via webcam. I think it's by a company called Examity. Maybe they use somebody else, I don't know. They will also record my screen the entire time. And, it's probably going to be a series of multiple choice questions. And then at the very end, you get a score. You find out if you passed or you failed. That's just what it is. It's just that traditional type of, you get in there, you take the exam, you get your results type of setting. Depending on the degree that you're doing at WGU, these OAs might be external exams. So you might have to actually go to a testing center and do them, or you might have to wait to get vouchers and things like that. But I don't believe any of that applies with the MBA. So it's literally just the moment you get access to the class, you have a pre-assessment that doesn't matter if you pass or fail. It should automatically unlock the final assessment, that final OA. And then you take it, and if you pass, that's it. The class is done. You're good to go. It is possible, if you have the knowledge, because WGU is a competency-based school, it is possible in some cases to finish the class in a single day. Now, if you fail that OA the first time, things can get a little bit difficult, because you have situations where your course instructor, they have to approve you taking the OA a second time, and that's when you can get blocked quite a bit. So they can pile on a bunch of requirements and really make you do a lot of other things before they let you take it again. So if you're going to take it, and you're going to take it that first time, make sure you're ready. The PAs are completely different. So basically, a PA, which stands for, I believe, performance assessment, can be very different. It can be a number of different things. You might have, research papers you have to do. You might have to do a presentation in like PowerPoint or Excel. Maybe you have to actually get on a webcam and present something. There's a lot of different things that it can be depending on the degree. And so typically the way that this works, there's 2 things that you really need to know about kind of how PAs work. Number 1, PAs usually consist of multiple tasks, and each task has to be done and graded independently before you are able to pass that PA. And then number 2 is that it requires manual grading. So these are not something where you submit it and you immediately get a result. In most cases, I think it is said that it can take up to 3 business days for each thing that you turn in. So if you have a class that requires like 3 tasks in order to finish that PA, and they take up to 3 business days, you might be waiting 3 days in between each task, which means something that could have been 1 day for an OA might take at a minimum 9 days, just because it takes WGU a long time to grade it. You don't really have much control over that. The main negative with the PAs is that, unfortunately, there could be some inconsistency in the grading. So you might have your stuff kicked back for the smallest of problems. And I've heard a lot of people complain about that. And if your stuff gets kicked back and you resubmit it, they're not going to just instantly check it. You're going to go right back in the same queue, where you might end up waiting 3 days because you missed just a line or something like that. But at the same time, the major positive is that a lot of people like this because it's kind of a break from doing the OAs. And if you do get something kicked back to you, it doesn't mean you have to do a ton of stuff before you can submit it again. Oftentimes, just fix the little thing that they want you to fix, submit it. It might take a couple days, but usually that's it and you're good to go. All right, so let's get into the classes. By the way, the first 3 classes that I'm going to mention are the first 3 classes of the first term. So these are the ones that you are going to be assigned if you start and you're doing the MBA in IT management. You don't necessarily have to do these 3 in order, but it is my understanding that you do have to do the 3 before you can unlock anything else. The first class is C202 Managing Human Capital. It requires an OA in order to pass, and I think overall this is probably going to be an easier class. According to the program guide, which I will have linked in the description below, it says this course focuses on strategies and tools that managers use to maximize employee contribution and create organizational excellence. You will learn talent management strategies to motivate and develop employees, as well as best practices to manage performance for added value. Honestly, this just doesn't sound like something that's going to be really hard for me. Hopefully it's not going to be. It kind of seems like common sense a little bit, but we'll see what happens. The next class is C200, Managing Organizations and Leading People. This requires a PA and has 2 different tasks that you have to do. By the way, what are those 2 tasks? I have no idea, to be honest with you, but I do want to make it clear, even if I knew what the tasks were, I can't necessarily tell you. I'm pretty sure I would get in trouble. I think the most that I can do is tell you how many tasks there are. But that being said, yeah, you have to do 2 tasks. It doesn't seem that difficult, just given the fact that it's managing and leading people. I feel like this is just kind of a earlier beginning type of class. If you've been in management for a while like I have, I really can't see this being too difficult. So I'm going to put this in the easy category as well. You know what? I don't think I'm going to read all these word for word because I think it's going to take too long to do all of them. But in short, it talks about effective management and leadership. And it says, that it's going to include topics on the roles and functions of a manager, analysis of personal leadership skills. It's all leadership based. So hopefully this won't be that bad. I really don't think it will be. This is what it is. Just 2 tasks, probably 2 papers, maybe a presentation. Should be good to go. Next is MGT2 IT Project Management. This is a PA and it requires 3 different tasks. Just so you guys know, most of the courses that you have at WGU for the MBA are all they're all the same, right? You have your MBA in healthcare management, MBA in IT management. A lot of the courses overlap, but there are a couple that are unique to specific degrees. And so this one is unique to the IT management degree. To be honest with you, it is 3 tasks, which might be a little bit annoying, but overall, I'm honestly going to say I think this one will be easy. I've done project management for a long time. I actually really enjoy project management. So I'm actually looking forward to this class because I'm curious what they're going to have me do. And I'm excited about what I can create. I really just want to mention one thing here, and it's that first sentence. It says, IT project management provides an overview of the Project Management Institute's project management methodology. If you guys don't know, PMI or Project Management Institute, those are the people that do like the CAPM and PMP certification. So I'm really, really interested to see what is included in this class. The next one that I think I'm going to do is C213 Accounting for Decision Makers. This is an OA class, and to be honest with you, I definitely think that this is going to be one of the hardest ones that I have to do. It's not so much that I'm like really not looking forward to it. I think it's definitely going to be hard, and I'm probably going to have to study really hard in order to pass it. But at the same time, accounting is something that I think is important, and it's something I'm going to need to know. So I am personally looking forward to learning it. I'm just not looking forward to that final exam to prove that I know whatever it is that I learned while I was doing this class. Taking a quick look at this, it looks difficult, to be honest with you. It says topics include account cycle, financial statements, taxes, and budgeting. I might be able to do budgeting. I don't really know the rest of it. And then kind of looking under that a little bit, it talks about economic cost concepts and activity-based costing to make cost-based decisions. I don't know anything about any of that. So yeah, definitely going to be a difficult class, but I'm ready for it. Next is C212 Marketing, and surprisingly, it is a PA, but it only requires 1 task. And I'm not sure about this one. Look, I'm kind of introverted. I don't really try to promote anything or do any type of marketing and stuff. So, with it only being 1 PA, I'm not too worried about it. However, I have heard that 1 PA is kind of a pain in the ass. So I don't think it's going to be easy, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be super hard either. So I'll probably put it in like the medium category. What I'll probably try to do is maybe just take 1 weekend day and just dedicate it towards getting that task done. Hopefully that'll be enough. I'm not particularly excited for this class, but I don't think it's going to hold me back for very, very long either. From what it says, it introduces students to principles of marketing environment, social media, customer behavior, marketing research, and market segmentation. Again, I just think that this is somewhat common sense. This doesn't seem like it's something that's going to require a lot of critical thinking, especially because, I mean, I have this YouTube channel. I've also done things on Twitch and things like that for a different YouTube channel that I have. So I'm really not too worried about this. I just think whatever it is that they're going to ask me to do, it's probably going to be a lot. Not difficult, just a lot. Next is C214 Financial Management. This is an OA class, meaning I have to pass an exam. And just a heads up here, my program mentor told me that you cannot take this class unless you have already taken accounting beforehand. So just be aware of that. You have to take accounting first. Now, that being said, I think out of the entire degree, this is a class that I am definitely the most worried about. This is definitely going to be hard. I don't know a lot about finances. Like, I can do my own personal finances, but this is finances in relation to businesses, and I don't even know where to begin with that. I had to buy a financial calculator. I looked at all the functions and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a nightmare. So I am not looking forward to this class. Hopefully I'll be able to get some valuable information out of it, but this class could, even though it's just an OA, it could take me longer to do this class than any other class in the degree. I am pretty nervous about this class. I'm really hoping I can stay focused and that it doesn't defeat me, but yeah, I am worried about this one. Yeah, everything in here sounds bad. Financial planning, management of working capital, analysis of investment opportunities, sources of long-term financing, government regulations, global influences, and then honestly, even all of the bullet points that talk about capital marketing theory, it's all gibberish to me. So I am gonna have to try hard with this one, but that's what it is. This is the hardest class. I don't want to wait and have this be the very last class, so I'm trying to take it a little bit earlier, but yeah, this is going to be the hardest one for sure. Next is C206 Ethical Leadership. It is a PA and requires 3 tasks. Now, I'll be honest with you, after that beating that I'm probably going to take from financial management, I'm going to need something a little easier. And to be honest with you, I think despite the fact that it's 3 tasks, I would say this is probably going to be easy just because, I mean, it's ethical leadership. To me, whenever I hear ethical leadership, I start thinking nothing but like common sense, right? Leadership skills, some people have them, some people don't. But when it comes to doing things ethically, it should not be difficult to determine what is ethical versus what's not ethical, right? So I'm really not worried about this class at all. Yeah, so everything here seems pretty common sense to me. I will say that one little part, it says that it provides a framework for analysis of management-related ethical issues and decision-making actions required for satisfactory resolution of these issues. I didn't think I was going to read that whole sentence, but specifically the part where it says it provides a framework, I am curious what type of framework they're talking about, if it is some type of industry framework that people use or if it's just WGU's way of doing it. But regardless, again, this shouldn't be a hard class. Next is C207, Data-Driven Decision Making. Now, this class is the only class out of the whole program that has both an OA and a PA. So, the OA is going to be your final exam, but the PA, there are 2 tasks that you need to do. I'm not really sure about this decision-making class. I'm undecided, I guess you could say. I really don't know. This is a class that if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say maybe difficulty wise, it's probably a medium. I don't really know what to think about this class. I just don't. The fact that it has an OA and a PA probably isn't too bad, but I just don't really know enough about this particular class, even looking at the information to really determine if it's going to be super hard or not. Honestly, even reading here, I'm not really sure. It does say that the topics include quantitative analysis, statistical, and quality tools. It will improve your ability to use data to make informed decisions. And then it does list out a couple of other things here. But overall, I think as long as I can, understand it, it shouldn't be too bad. It may be very complicated, like maybe it gets into certain formulas and things, but it's my understanding that the only thing that I would really need like a calculator for is just that finance class. Then everything else is not as like mathematical. So not too worried about this class, but I also don't know how difficult it's going to be. So this is that one just enigma class. We'll see what happens when I get to it. Next is C211 Global Economics for Managers. This is an OA class, and to be honest with you, I think that this is going to be a very hard class. I was not a fan of macroeconomics, wasn't a fan of microeconomics, and I feel like global economics isn't going to be any more fun. I actually talked with my program mentor a little bit about this. She did say that just like with the data decision-making class, this is not like a mathematical thing, so you don't need a calculator for it. But that being said, I'm still not feeling great about this one. I feel like this is something I'm probably going to have to learn, something that I don't already understand a lot. So this class is going to be difficult. It is only an OA, so hopefully I can pass it on the first try. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this one. There is a lot in this little section talking about how this class works. I mean, it does say, it explains how economic tools, techniques, and indicators can be used for solving organizational problems. But then it lists so many different things, like the second to last bullet point: economic principles, supply and demand, scarcity, opportunity cost, price, income, and cross price elasticities, role of government, inflation, monetary, fiscal policy. This is all stuff that I've heard of it before. I might know a little bit of some of it, but definitely not enough to just walk in this class and pass it immediately. I'm going to have to study for it, might have to study for a while, so this is going to be difficult. The second to last class in this degree program is MMT2 IT Strategic Solutions. This is a PA. Obviously, it is unique to the MBA in IT Management, but this thing requires 4 tasks. That is crazy. It's the most tasks I've seen. I didn't have this many when I did any class in the bachelor's degree, so it's going to be a lot. Yeah, it has the words IT in it, so ideally you would think, oh, well, this will be easy for me. But I don't know, man. 4 tasks, that's a lot. Can I do strategic solutions? Well, it depends on what it's talking about. But I think overall, I don't want to say that it's easy, but I don't think it's going to be super hard either. I just think it's going to be a lot of work. So I'm going to put this in the medium category. We'll see how it goes. It's the second to last class, so hopefully it won't be too bad, at least second to last in the order that I plan on doing it in. But yeah, I think it's probably just going to be more annoying that it's 4 tasks versus it being something that's actually really difficult. All right, so looking at the top here, it says topics will include technology strategy, gap analysis, researching new technologies, strength, opportunities, weaknesses, and threat. Strength, opportunities, weak. I don't know why they put it in that order. That's a SWOT analysis, which would be SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. But whatever. So SWOT analysis, ethics, risk mitigation, data security, communication plans, and globalization. So overall, honestly, it's a lot of terms and stuff, but I understand them. So I don't think it's going to be too difficult, just a lot of tasks to do and probably some research. And last but not least, to wrap it all up, is C218, the MBA IT Management Capstone. This is a PA and it requires 3 tasks. Now, what are those tasks? I have no idea. Honestly, I'm going to put this in the hard category. And the reason why is because, well, it's the final thing. It's supposed to be a combination of everything that you learned. And some of these classes are very, very difficult. So I don't know what the MBA is going to be like. Is it going to be difficult? Is it not? Who knows? Capstones suck. The bachelor's capstone wasn't too bad, but I did feel like it was kind of long. So since that one was long, this one's probably going to be long too. That's really it. There's not a ton for me to say about it. It's the capstone. It's accumulation of everything. So by the time I get to this, I'll be happy. But yeah, it's probably going to suck. I'll show this one since I showed the other ones, but as you can see, it really doesn't tell you anything helpful. It just tells you it's an accumulation course that basically incorporates information from all of the other courses that you took as part of this degree program. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's probably going to be a little difficult. It's definitely going to be long. 3 tasks, might be 3 big tasks, little tasks, I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot in my opinion. Even though it's only 11 classes, I feel like that's a lot of work. I feel like it's more work than my bachelor's was. And I mean, it rightfully should be, but I do feel like there is a lot of stuff that I need to learn. So in total, just wrapping everything up, that means that there are 4 classes that are OAs, 6 classes that are PAs, 1 class that is both an OA and a PA. As far as my little initial scale, I think that there are 4 classes that are going to be easy, 3 classes that are going to be kind of medium, a little bit in between, and then 4 that I think are going to be very hard. So I'm not super nervous about it anymore. I'm more so just ready to jump in there and get started. I'm always ready to learn something new. I'm excited to learn about whatever I can in relation to, having an MBA and learning more about business. And I'm excited, but it's going to be hard for sure. But yeah, that's it. So there is probably not going to be any more videos that come out before school. I mean, school's in a couple of days, so I will, see you guys then. But this is going to be an interesting week for sure. I'm actually off all week, which is great. That's exactly what I had planned. But it's a situation. I haven't talked to you guys about what I've been studying. I've actually been studying for something for like 4 weeks now, but it's gonna bleed into me going into school a little bit. So I'm kind of battling those two just a little bit. And Baldur's Gate 3 comes out this week, so I'm stupid excited for that one. It's just a lot going on this week, but I got to keep my priorities right. I got to focus, and we'll see what happens. So I'll try to keep you guys informed, of course. Hopefully this video helped provide at least a little bit of information for you guys. And until my next video, you guys take care.